Hey ho, my name is Joe. Welcome back to my channel. I am Fight and Read Like a Girl, and today we are doing a Do I Have That Book challenge. Hello there, my name is Joanna. I refer to myself here as Joe on this booktube community because if you are new or returning, I am your total typical coffee-loving book addict, and I always give a book a chance at least once, so I ask that you please leave your most recent read down below. Today I'm actually doing a book tag, and I was actually tagged by Adeline Reads, I think it is. I don't remember her exact name, but I will leave her link down below, as well as the questions and the person that I could find who did originally this tag, and all that'll be down below. I can't talk today, my brain is tired. I've only been up for like an hour, so let's jump in. The time I have to beat is about 15 minutes and 11 seconds, I think her time was. So I kind of cheated a little bit. I was thinking about these, but I wrote down all of the prompts off of a video that I found, and I don't know, maybe that is cheating, but either way, I just didn't want to keep looking at my phone, you know, just to see how much time I'm wasting and all that. But I am going to keep a timer on my phone, and I have the questions here so I can have this on my bookshelf, and you know, so I'm not constantly tapping my screen and all that fun stuff. So, I have two bookshelves actually. So you guys usually see the main bookshelf behind me. But right now I do have another one in a spare bedroom. That one contains most of my unread books. This one contains all the books that I have read or I am currently reading. So, let's do this. I'm very scared. I am very freaking scared. I don't know how this is going to go. But I will let you guys see. I am starting the timer. Start. Stopwatch. There we go. Alright, how about we do this? Let's go with this. How about 3 more people on cover? You have a book based on an official story. So I have actually several, but I thought that was too obvious. But I think that's actually what I have right now. You have a book that's 10 letters long. That's right. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Oh, no, buddy. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 10. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Let's 8. Hold on. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 10. Book that starts and ends the same letter. It probably has that on my screen right now. Same letter. Do I? It's really hard. I don't know. I must have a book that starts and ends the same letter. Basically, practice time here. That's really hard. How hard can that be? Seriously, how hard can that be? I don't understand. It should be this hard. It starts and ends the same letter. Like, when I hear a book, it starts and ends the same letter. Like this. What? First I see, starts and ends the same letter. Alright, you have to get back. I have several. So, you're going to grab one and we will back up here. Alright. Do you have a book by Harper Lee? Do you have a book with Charlene title? No, not yet. Do you have a book in the works? I don't know. I think it was something. Do you have a book? the same initials as you. So yes, I did. Right here. Do you have a book of short stories? Yes, I do. Not book short stories. Wait, where it is? This one. I know short stories. You have a book of 5 Katie Wimser. That's right. I'm going to do 5 Alright, last thing. Let's go here. I'm going to do 5 Okay, over. Pages. Yes. See what's interesting. Oh my god, it's so hard. Wow, alright. Should take this too long. Oh, wait. You don't count the chapter one. Oh, anyway, do you have a book that's written to movie? I know Stackhouse was written to movie, but okay. Alright, do you have a book? No, I'm sure you do. Do you have a book written by 2 authors? Yes, you do. So that took me 16 minutes and 12 seconds. Didn't beat the time, but I'm going to go ahead and quickly organize all these, and then we're going to talk about them. Alright, so starting from the top, we're working our way down through this list, because I wanted to go over these after I did the challenge and all that fun stuff, because it's easy. Okay, so my battery died, so probably a little bit of a different angle, but let's go. So, we're going to start at the top, work our way down, we're going to go through these books, and yeah. I did it in 16 minutes and 11 seconds, so... Okay, so we're starting at the top. So we're going to start at the top, work our way down, and the first one is, do you have a book with deckled edges? The book that I found that has deckled edges... Oh, come on, pick it up. The book that I found that has deckled edges is To Kill a Mockingbird by Harper Lee. My edition has the deckled edges. If you are not familiar with To Kill a Mockingbird, you basically follow like the Southern age. What year was it? I'm trying to remember. I don't remember what the year was. Either way, you follow a group of kids or a couple of kids who end up going to a trial for a. I don't want to say the word, but they say it on the back with a Negro. In his rape charge, that's basically, in a nutshell, To Kill a Mockingbird. If you guys want more in depth on any of these books that I'm going to be talking about, leave a comment down below and I'd love to go into them. This is, do you have a book with more than 3 people on the cover? I found the Metropilians by Goodman. There are 4 people on this cover. And this book is a retelling of King Arthur and World War II. So it's kind of like, what if King Arthur could have stopped World War II? And these 4 boys tried to basically uncover those secrets going into a museum, and it was just, I loved this story so much. And this is a middle grade if you guys are curious. Number 3, do you have a book based on another fictional story? And of course, I had to go with this one because it's one of my favorites, right? I have a Curse So Dark and Lonely by Bridgd Kemmerer, and this is a retelling of Beauty and the Beast, one of the best Beauty and the Beast retellings I have read to date, I think. But, you know, that's just my opinion. Next is a Do You Have a Book with the title 10 letters long. And I found The Dilemma by B.A. Paris. The Dilemma, 10 letters long. This is about a couple who are keeping secrets from each other and they don't know if they really want to tell each other, but overall I think I gave this like 4 stars, but also like it's like on the verge of 4 to 5 stars because I wasn't agreeing with the way the story was portrayed, but B.A. Paris just has a way of just tying everything together and just give you the best book experience I think you could ever have. Number 5, do you have a book that starts and ends with the same letter? This one was hard for me, but I found, honestly, Twilight by Stephine Meyer. If I have to go into detail what this is about, you've been living on a freaking rock because it's vampires, it's one of the top known books probably in the world at this point. So if you've been living under a rock, you don't know what this is about, you follow Bella and Edward. Bella ends up moving to Forks, and she ends up falling in love with a sparkly vampire. For the record, vampires are not supposed to sparkle. Right, number 6, do you have a mass market paperback? I actually have several mass market paperbacks, but I plucked one at random. And I plucked Hearts in Atlantis by Stephen King. This was actually Edward's copy, and I replaced it for him in a hard copy, but I actually personally haven't read Hearts in Atlantis yet, so I can't tell you what it's about, but it's on my list. Next is, do you have a book written by an author using a pen name? I have a couple, but I plucked one that honestly that nobody really seems to talk about her. I don't know if because she was big in like the 90s or the 2000s, but nobody really ever talks about her. And that is The Princess Diaries by Meg Cabot. I do not remember what her real name is, but I will put that right here so you guys can know. But Meg Cabot was pretty big in like the 90s and 2000s and whatnot. And yeah, actually one of my favorite books, or series of all time. Number 8, do you have a book with the character's name in the title? And for that one, I have Evermore, the Immortal series by Alyson Noel. If you are not familiar with this series, you follow a girl named Evermore who basically gets into a car accident with her parents, and she has to go live with her aunt, and she ends up meeting this boy who is special. I mean, it's kind of like also like a Twilight retelling, but in mortal form, not vampire form. But the tulips and everything that are on this cover make sense, and it just, I actually loved this. I thought it was a really good series, and it was a perfect series to read after the Twilight series. But, you know, my personal opinion. Number 9, do you have a book that was made into a TV show? I have Dead Till Dark by Charlene Harris. This book was made into True Blood, which was on HBO, and you follow Sookie Stackhouse, who works in a diner, and vampires are accepted in the world. People, it's kind of like a racist way. It's not really racist. Okay, how can I explain that? Vampires are accepted in the community. However, you also have the racist side of it where some people don't like them, but they have to accept them into their world. So they're accepted in our world, but people are racist toward them, if that makes sense. I hope. Alright, number 10. Do you have a book with 2 maps in it? I know I have a couple, but I just did pluck one. And that is The Ember and the Ashes by Sahara Tahir, and it's got map 1 and map 2. I'm not going to go into detail because this is actually all over BookTube, so I'm not going to go into detail on this one. Alright, number 11. Do you have a book written by somebody who is famous for something else? And I have Elixir by Hilary Duff. Do we need to go into detail? But okay, so this book is actually about a girl who has been kind of in the spotlight her whole entire life, and then all of a sudden, she just drops off the face of the earth. Basically, in a nutshell, what this is about. Number 12. Do you have a book with a clock on the cover? Okay. In my defense, this looks like a freaking clock. But then I had a second look at it, and it's not a clock. Look at that, okay? That looks like a freaking clock to me. But no, it's a compass. So this was the book that I plucked for the clock on the cover, but I don't know, it looks like a clock. Maybe it's just me, but this looks like a clock. But it might be a compass. I don't know, but this is what we're going with. Personally, I still haven't read this yet, so I don't really know what it's about, but it's on my list soon. Number 13, do you have a poetry book? I honestly right now don't have a poetry book in my hot little hand, but I do own it on my Kindle, and I'm actually waiting for it to come in because I did order it, and that is Poems for the End of the World by Kate Wimser, I think her name is. So I post a picture of that right here, but I actually recently read this on my Kindle because I won it from our Goodreads giveaway, and I absolutely loved it. I think I gave it 5 stars, but either way, it was a great story, or just a bunch of poems that, yeah, I got nothing. Wow, the sun just got really bright. Number 14, do you have a book with an award stamp on it? And I have Walk Two Moons by Sharon Creech. It does have an award stamp on it. Recently it has been removed, so I don't know if this will still count. But my copy has an award stamp on it, and the reason that this was removed is because it makes fun of Native Americans, so I've talked about this a couple of times before, so I'm not going to go into detail on it. Next is, do you have a book with an author who has the same initials as you? This one was actually kind of hard, but I did find one, and it's a book I actually picked up recently. And that is Think Like a Monk by Jay Shetty. If you don't know who Jay Shetty is, you've obviously been living under a rock, because Jay Shetty is one of the most biggest influencers of our time. And this is his book. I haven't read it yet, but I absolutely love Jay Shetty, and I've been following him for the longest time now. He talks about relationships and peace of mind and your purpose for your day, or like purpose, and he is just amazing, and I cannot wait to read his book. So excited. I'm actually going to read the book and follow along with the audiobook because he narrated his own book. So I hope one day to meet him because he's amazing. Do you have a book of short stories? And I went with Sookie Stackhouse, The Complete Short Stories, Touch of Dead by Charlene Harris. This is a book of short stories and kind of like what she didn't include in the rest of the series. Number 17, do you have a book between 500 and 510 pages long? This is the one that actually took me the longest, I feel like, but I found it. And that is The Demon King by Cynthia Williams Chima. I've always gotten Prince and the Pauper kind of vibes from it. I know there's like not really that kind of way, but that's honestly what I've kind of gathered from it. And yeah, I'm totally wrong on that though, but there definitely is Prince and the Pauper meets, I don't even know how to explain it, but one of my favorite series of all time. And if you don't include the first chapter of the next book, it has 506 pages in it. Number 18, do you have a book that was turned into a movie? I have multiple, so I plucked one at random. And that is The Hunger Games by Suzanne Collins. If you're living under a rock, you follow Katniss and Peeta, who go into the, what number is it? I forget what number it is. I don't remember what number it is. But they go into the Hunger Games and they basically have to fight to survive. Alright, number 19, do you have a graphic novel? And the only graphic novel that I have is Inside Out Pixar, and this is honestly a really great story. I always open to Bing Bong every time I talk about this book, but this is literally kind of like a companion to the movie, and yeah, it is a graphic novel, so it works. And last but not least, number 20, do you have a book written by two authors? And I've got Pan's Labyrinth by Guillermo de Toro and Cornelia Funk. This is a fairy tale, dark and mysterious fairy tale. I haven't actually read it yet, so I can't give you fully what it's about, but yeah, here it is. Alright, they're all there. So that was Do I Have That Book challenge, which obviously I do. So if you made it this far in this video, thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to check out all my links down below because they are there for you guys. Because if I'm not recording a video, not at work, or not reading, I'm probably on social media because that's what we do. And there's also a link down below to how you can support this channel. I would really appreciate it if you guys would do a little bit of support because, you know, I would love to make more content for you guys, and I'm still a small booktuber, but I definitely want to try to get up there because, you know, why not? So thank you again so much for watching, guys. Check out all my links down below. Don't forget to hit subscribe because I post random content, but I'm trying to get better at posting it 2 days a week on Tuesday and Fridays. So you definitely want to hit that subscribe button to see if I can get better at this. So thank you so much for watching, guys, and I will see you next time.